Hey everybody, it's me once again, and I'm here to do people who may be sort of following the channel at this time or may not be following it fully at this time uh, could see. I'm going to be doing sort of two videos in a row. One is this video in honor of Wes Craven, his 2 years since his unfortunate passing, and the other one, I'm not sure which one will be uploaded first, this one or the following one, will be in honor of another fallen horror movie director. But today will just be about Wes Craven. He is the guy, same with Robert Englund, that influenced me to want to make movies. It was pretty much one of those things, like, up to that point in my life, I wanted to be a, owner of a comic book shop or an action figure shop, since, toys and comics were my passion at that point. Sorry. Those were my passions at that point in time in my life. But for some reason, that movie, and same with the movie that I saw the following night when it premiered for the first time on TV, Freddy vs. Jason, was it's like that, along with the movie that I saw the night before, which was Nightmare on Elm Street. Something about Robert Englund's performance and the film that Wes Craven made me be like, okay, I want to do that. And I have made little movies as when I was a kid, but I've never been able to really create a coherent narrative. And I will go over his career briefly, and hopefully this will be fun for you guys. Of course, the first one he did was Last House on the Left. I also have this on DVD. Sorry about this lighting. This is a movie that's probably one of the few that I've seen that I actually cannot really handle watching. This movie really, any type of movie with that kind of content just really puts me off. But the main reason why I own this is because I get a serious kick out of the documentary Celluloid Crime of the Century. And Wes Craven even admitted on there that this is a movie that he, in a way, kind of regrets. Yeah. Like he said, he's thankful that helped start a career, but it's not necessarily one that he liked looking back on. Then after that, he followed up with things like The Hills Have Eyes, Deadly Blessing, Chiller, which I think starred Paul Sorvino, and Deadly... Did I say Deadly Blessing? In case I didn't, Deadly Blessing. And Swamp Thing. But his biggest break was the movie that I said inspired me, Nightmare on Elm Street. I can't believe they used this arched, crooked pose of Freddy, his claw dangling like that, as a contender for one of the posters to help advertise the remake. Because Robert Englund should not be associated in any way with that movie. I also have all the other Nightmare on Elm Streets, including Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I do have in a little set somewhere, The Serpent and the Rainbow, The People Under the Stairs, and this movie, which I also have on Blu-ray in this great collector's set. Second, let me show you both covers. Shocker. Probably my most favorite of the ones he made. The irony, the very sad irony, is this was the last movie. What am I talking about? Yeah. A little tired, but not tired enough to not do this video. The sad irony is the announcement for this Blu-ray and The Serpent and the Rainbow, which I haven't gotten and probably won't get because it seemed like a bit of a scam with how it turned out. Goodness. They were announced back in June of 2015, a little bit before his passing, but nobody knew that he was sick, not even his close friends like Robert Englund. And we get an old commentary with Wes, but I would have preferred to have heard like current thoughts, and I wish they got to wait a bit longer for Peter Berg's schedule to open up more. I mean, they could have, because they didn't have to wait on Wes. And then, but it's still a good Blu-ray though, either way. And in the future, if I ever do one big epic review of Shocker, I will show you my collection of Shocker stuff. Yeah, this is one of the biggest movie franchise sets that I own. But before I show you these, actually, I should mention that I've never heard of that newspaper. Sorry, that just distracted me for a second. I did not see Serpent and the Rainbow or The People Under the Stairs, even though I own them. And I haven't seen Vampire in Brooklyn, which I do wish that Wes was still around so he could do things like talk about that movie and how Eddie Murphy got involved, and if that whole thing about the studio scamming Eddie Murphy, like having the script rewritten behind his back after he signed the contract, was true or not. But he followed up that and New Nightmare with the Scream movies. Scream 1, I enjoy. Scream 2 is probably my favorite of the ones that I've seen so far, even though I love Matthew Lillard in the first. I hate that Jamie Kennedy gets killed in this, but have to raise the stakes. And also, this was the first one I saw. I remember seeing it on TV when I was a kid. And then Scream 3, which I caught a couple times on TV, but never could finish for whatever reasons. And then this, Scream 4. Which was sadly his last. But before that, around the same time, was this movie, My Soul to Take, which a lot of people say is one of the absolute worst, but I haven't seen this movie in its entirety yet. And of course, everyone has a misfire. But I also saw Cursed, which I never thought was that bad. And I saw Red Eye a long time ago when I was a kid. And I remember that one being okay. But Wes, though, sadly, of course, people obviously know he passed away. But the thing, though, that really shook me about it, though, was mainly because he was an idol of mine. And I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I was just waking up. It was just another day. I was going to be going to work that night. I went to check my phone to see if I got any texts, and I got one from my mom saying that she was on her way home with McDonald's, and she wrote, and by the way, Wes Craven died this morning. It was on the news. And oh my goodness, I remember the instant grief hitting me. Seriously, it was like a really hard kick in the groin, punch in the gut, punch in the chest. Like my heart moved from the force of that punch at that chest, like it did to Stallone when Dolph punched him there. I felt like that. And I basically stumbled around work that entire night in utter depression. Told a couple of my coworkers. A couple knew because they said they saw on Twitter. And a couple did not know at all, but they, in a cute way, gave me their condolences. And like I knew the guy, even though I didn't know him personally. I would have loved to have met him, but I wasn't that fortunate. And I remember, just a second, let me shut this off so I don't linger too much time with the camera on you guys. I just need to get this for you, so when you see the jump cut, that's why. Alright, hopefully you can see me a bit better. Just this lighting is weird, but basically what I was going off to get was this little card. My auntie Amy, who died the same year as Wes Craven from cancer as well. This was the last thing she ever sent me, and this is probably one of the most touching cards I ever got. The front says, "The weatherman said that today was a good day to send sunshine to somebody you love." I'm just getting touched all over again. This card was a complete surprise. "Dear Corey, I wanted to express our sympathy to you for losing Wes Craven." Even though I didn't know him, people still looked at me as like, the way you talked about him was like you knew him. "We know how much he meant to you, Corey, and we're very sorry. Please accept all of this sunshine to help you heal. We love you. Auntie Amy, John, and Jake." I posted about this back when I posted the news about Wes Craven's passing. But that card I've kept for years, as you can see. And I will definitely, I'll never throw it out. I never throw out cards. I may stuff them into like a drawer or a cabinet in my room, but I never throw things like that away. Same even with the little pieces of paper, like little feedback things that I got for my senior project talking about the MPAA and how they should strictly enforce more how children should not be admitted into certain movies, even if they're accompanied by a parent. I mean, things like that, like feedback notes, especially from great friends like Jay, James, Mackie, Sally, and so many others. Like, I mean, things like those and this, they mean a lot to me. Yeah, they mean the world to me. And the least I can do is save them. I remember finding an old card, and I'm sorry I'm going off tangent a bit, but I'll just quickly mention this before I stop this little tangent. I remember finding a card recently, a year or two ago, maybe 3, of one of those like talking cards that I think friend Scott gave me for my birthday, and it was like a Batman thing. And when you opened it, I didn't know who it was saying this line, but it was from Christian Bale in Batman Begins saying, "Somebody who dresses as a bat clearly has issues." I mean, little things like that, I think they're so sweet, and they just, like I said, they mean a lot to me. Just like how Wes Craven meant a lot to me. And my Auntie Amy for her unconditional love and her caring enough to get me this. But I kind of look at this as my way of making peace with not being able to record a video in honor of Wes back when this happened. My old video camera broke, and I had to save up for a new one. But even though I prefer that one a lot more, this one's okay. But now I feel very much at peace with the whole thing, and not feeling like I betrayed the man that gave me so much inspiration. People like me, and Shane Dawson, and many other great people I've seen on YouTube do the videos in honor of him. I mean, say what you will about Shane Dawson, but his video, I mean, I loved Matt, aka Rambo Rat for Life, and Mike, aka OCP Communications, Wes Craven tributes, but I also, the one that really struck a chord with me because of how emotional it was Shane Dawson's. Like I said, say what you will about the guy, but this video was so undeniable about, like, you could see the look in his eyes, the tears streaming out like Niagara Falls. Like, I obviously felt with Matt and Mike how upset they were, but Shane Dawson was a guy that actually kind of knew Wes fairly well. He kept in touch with him after a failed audition, and that audition was for Scream 4. And Wes, he was talking about how Wes really wanted Shane to do it, really wanted him in the movie. And he was like, tell me more about these certain things with the internet. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, I'd love to. But then the studio pretty much came in and basically said that we should hire real actors, not YouTube people. And I really do think that Wes had to have been sincere about that to Shane. I don't think he would just be blowing smoke at saying things to Shane like, sorry that I can't use you. But that stuff sadly happens. Of course, now you see certain YouTubers in movies all the time. And like Cool Duder, who's been in tons of things. And those like how to be ninja, how to be gangster, how to be emo, how to be nerd guys, like they did their own movie. Derek Comedy did a movie. Smosh did a movie. Those guys I used to love until I heard about that charity scam that they tried to do. Then like The Annoying Orange and things like that got its own TV show for a while. I don't know which role Shane Dawson was offered or auditioned for, however the story went, but would have been interesting to see. I do really miss you, Wes, though. And I feel that I should kind of wrap this up before it gets a little too long. But I also want to thank Autumn, Ruben, Lauren, and so many other great people that I work with. Like, I will also include Nick and Donna in this video. Because once again, I didn't know the guy personally, but of course you guys knew how much I idolize him. Especially since most of you guys know that Robert Englund is one of my most favorite actors, and that Freddy Krueger is one of my most favorite horror movie characters. And of course, some of you guys know how much I love Shocker as well, and how much I want to try to get that movie more into the public eye. And just as a quick last thing on Shocker, I would love, that little funny Amazon review, I don't know if it's still on there, editorial thing, saying about how there's probably a warehouse somewhere filled with still packaged up Horace Pinker action figures or stuffed animals that have never obviously been sold or released. And to be honest, if those were real, I would have bought some. I definitely would have. And I love that character. But Wes, thanks for the movies. Thanks for the inspiration. I really wish I could have gotten to meet you at a premiere for like a movie of mine or something, but I will say that everything that I make, whether if I put it in the credits or not, I'll still keep have them all dedicated to you in some fashion. You'll always be in my thoughts in every script that I write. And I'll never forget you. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you all take care, and I hope to see you all in the near future.